Hello and welcome to this video where I'm announcing the 4th annual Ferret Awards. That's right, it's been 4 years since we started this thing, and I keep always trying to improve it and upgrade things as the years go on. Hopefully we'll be doing this for many years in the future, but right now we're at our 4th one, and I'm pretty happy with how last year's went, so we're going to continue rolling on here. Last year I introduced the anonymous nomination form on Google Forms. This year we're doing the same thing. You can fill out a short form with your answers, and then they will be tallied up and added into the voting. The nomination period is going to last from today, the day that this video comes out, on December 7th, through the 21st. On the 22nd, I will upload a separate form for the voting, and the top 5 games in each category will be on that voting sheet. If not enough things get filled in for the nominations, I will gingerly fill in things as need be, but hopefully this year we don't have that problem. I'm trying to make this an all-community thing, so if you want to get your game on here, just put it into the nomination sheet. It's 1 nomination per category. Also, this year we've changed it up a little bit. Early Access has its own category now, along with 1 other new category as well. So if you have Early Access games and I haven't allowed them to be on the votes in the past, now there is a whole section for them. Also, I guess I have to state this because the Game Awards kind of messed this up. DLC updates and seasons all have their own category still in my awards show, so I would recommend not putting Shadow of the Erdtree for anything other than the DLC category, because that is what it is. So there you go. If you want to fill out the form, it is available down below if you want to just fill it out as I go through it, because I'll just do a little bit of explanation here. You can always do that as well. You can always check it out with me as well. The voting period will be from the 22nd through January 1st, and then the award show will happen live on my Twitch channel, Yemmy the Ferret, twitch.tv/Yemmy the Ferret, on January 4th, the morning of January 4th. So if you want to check that out, that'll be that. If that's all you're here for, all that's good to go, just go ahead, click the link down in the description for the Google Doc, and let's go. Fill out that form and send it to me. I'd be happy. I very much appreciate it. There's only one thing that has to be done on each form, and that is fill out your username, just in case, just so we don't get duplicate form submissions. Obviously, that's not going to stop anyone from, because I'm not tracking it, but I would appreciate only 1 form filled out per person. We started off with the Game of the Year nomination. This will be the best game that you played throughout the year. Obviously, if you put like a troll as one of these answers, like Concord, I'm not going to count it. So you can waste your form if you want to, but just know that those types of things will be cut out. And don't worry, I've played a lot of games this year, so I know what's good and what's not. But the Game of the Year nominations, just put 1 there. It doesn't matter if you think someone else is going to put it. Just put your game, the game that you like the best this year there. And if there are multiple answers, then boom, you're good to go. If there's not, well, at least you have yours on there, huh? Another thing that I like to do with my award show is the worst game of the year. Give an award to the worst game that you played, so you can check that box off as well. Best indie game. This is coming from an independent studio or a small studio. Could even be a single studio. If that came out in 2024, all these games should be from 2024. So please nominate a single game from any indie developer that you would like from the year. Best performance. The only thing I ask about this one is to put the actor or actress's name along with the character that they performed. This is just an outstanding performance from the year from any multitude of acting positions. It could just be as simple as someone doing some motion capture for a rock monster. I don't know. I don't care. But that would be for this category. Best performance. Best soundtrack. Nominate a soundtrack you feel was the best composed or best performed from 2024. This can include a soundtrack with copyrighted songs on it, much like Death Stranding from a couple years ago with like Bring Me the Horizon on it. A soundtrack is that. It's a compilation of songs, whether they be composed specifically for the game or from other sources like copyrighted material or actual artists, like bands, I should say, not actual artists, because everyone's an artist here. So yeah, best soundtrack, and then I also have best song. This is one that was added in last year. This is a single song from a soundtrack, and it should be one that was made specifically for the game, not one that originated from another source and then was put into the game. So this should be an original song for a specific video game soundtrack. Boom, bada bing. The Still Playing Award. Goes to a game that is from 2023 or older. So this could be any number of games, obviously, but just a game that you're either continuing to play or you've been playing or maybe revisited this year. Early access titles are allowed for this one. So you can pretty much nominate any kind of game that you want for this one. Best downloadable content. This can be a DLC, this can be a large update, this can be a free add-on, or even a paid DLC. Early access titles are allowed in this category, specifically for like big updates, like Hades 2 had like patch 1.53 or whatever that updated a lot of the game. So you could technically nominate those types of things as well. But it must be DLC that was released in 2024, not specifically for a game released in 2024, but the DLC had to be released in 2024. Best remaster or remake. Last year I had these as separate categories. People got a little bit too confused. Also, there wasn't enough highly ranked remasters, so I ended up having to just combine the categories anyway. So here we are with the best remaster or remake. The difference is a pretty big difference, but not one that a lot of people notice. A remake is a completely from the ground up redo of a game, completely redoing the graphics, some story aspects, character models, etc. Think of like The Last of Us Part 1. And then a remaster is taking that original game and they're just kind of upscaling up-resing things, maybe giving the graphics a quick touch-up or whatever, but mostly keeping the core experience intact. Think of The Thing remaster, which came out this year recently. So this will be a game that was remastered or remade in 2024. Best combat. This is how the game can, the combat in the game feels, how the actions in the game feels. This could be as simple as jumping on a Goomba's head in Mario to having the intricate battle system that a lot of fighting games have, like Tekken 8. So best combat would be the actual physical act of doing whatever the combat is in said game from 2024. Most unique experience. This is a game that changed up the formula, mixed genres like never before, and or presented something completely new to the gaming landscape from this year. I love this category because it opens the doors for so many unique experiences to flood in and for people to talk about. And every year you get something new. You get some new kind of mix, some new kind of twist. Maybe it's instead of it being a Souls-like where you are on land, now you're underwater, right? Or maybe it's as something as kind of far-fetched as combining poker with a roguelite, right? So there's so many unique experiences that came out this year. Put one of your favorites right here. Best audio design. This is for the pow pow boom sound effects, the footsteps, the environmental sounds that come from a game. Obviously, if they're really good, you probably don't even really notice it because it just feels so combined with the regular gameplay, but audio design is obviously, it can be very good, from the crunching of snow to the building of Lego pieces. A lot of stuff can sound really great. So that's for best audio design. The game that left you speechless. This is another category that I made that I was just kind of looking for a game that left you speechless, right? A moment in a game that can leave you speechless. A lot of people describe moments from God of War from 2018 as speechless. That a jaw-dropping moment, something that was very emotional or very intense, or something that just can't kind of gives you some feelings that you just can't describe outright. So, put a game that had a moment like that in this section. Best visuals and graphics. This is a game from 2024 that had great visual presentation or graphic fidelity. As I like to say, best graphics or visuals don't necessarily have to be the most realistic. They can be something a bit more cartoony. They can be something a bit more far-fetched. Just think of, from last year, Cult of the Lamb, a very nice and I would say fantastic graphic style for that game. It's not the most realistic. It's not the most detailed. It doesn't have the pores on the lamb's face for you to zoom in and feel around with your eyeballs. But best visuals and graphics can be It has a wide range, more than just being photorealistic. Best multiplayer. This is a game from 2024 that either the focus or there was an aspect of the game that was multiplayer, whether it be PvP, PvE, MMO, co-op, couch co-op, etc. This is where you would put that. Best narrative. This is the game with the best story from 2024. Pretty straightforward. If it's got a good story, put it down here. Best gameplay. This is obviously separate, but still combines aspects of the combat. Best gameplay involves all aspects of how you control the character through jumping, through movement, through dialogue options, and yes, it also include a bit of that combat as well, but this is more heavily based on how the gameplay is. Are you dealing cards to someone? Are you riding a horse? Are you is it the best way to ride a horse, right? So that would be the best gameplay category here from 2024. Now we have our two new additions. We have Best Early Access Title. This is a game that launched in early access in 2024. This should be a game that is not in version 1.0 or a launched state. So if the game did come to early access in 2024, but through 2024 launched fully, I wouldn't count those games in early access. Just games that launched in 2024 in early access, stayed in early access throughout 2024. Maybe they'll go to the full version in the next year. That's fine, but we're talking about 2024 here. So these games can receive updates like Hades 2, as I already mentioned, or TCG Card Shop Simulator, but they should still be in early access for them to be on this category. And then we have Best Box Art. This is a game that just had great box art. This could include a deluxe or special edition when applicable. Please be specific if it is a specific box art that you want. I can't allow you to put pictures in here, but if you just say the deluxe edition of Star Wars Outlaws had the best box art, you could do that. Best Action Adventure Game. We're going into the genre portion of the forums. So this is a game that was in the action adventure genre, and usually action adventure games have an open world, puzzles, some sort of combat, probably platforming. So you kind of know what you're getting into there. Best RPG/JRPG. This is a role-playing game or a Japanese role-playing game that was released in 2024. Should have character leveling. I mean, it should be described as an RPG. Character leveling, turn-based combat, possibly action-based combat. Usually has an open world to explore, etc., etc. Best platformer. This is a game that is in the genre of the platforming genre. It's going to be a 2D or a 3D platformer. There's always a bunch released every year because it is one of the more basic of genres, but it is still a very important genre in the whole scheme of things. Best sports game. Please nominate one sports game from 2024. This could be from football, baseball, basketball, horse racing, Olympics, etc. Just nominate a game in the sports genre. Yes, racing is a sport. So, as I said during my podcast about the Game Awards, racing's a sport, so having best sports/racing game is kind of redundant. Best shooter. This could be a first-person shooter, third-person shooter, 2D shooter. I mean, it could be anything like that. This will be a shooter game from 2024. You probably know exactly what you're looking for this one. Best strategy and puzzle game. This is a game in the strategy or puzzle genres. Can be RTSs, can be turn-based RTSs, can be puzzle games, stuff like that. And then the final category is one specifically for my channel, which is your favorite game that I streamed in 2024. The list is in my Discord, so if you want to check that out, you can join the Discord, which also is linked down below. I'll just kind of quickly go over every single game I played, I guess, just for the sake of you're here and you're listening to this. Lego Marvel Superheroes, Star Fox 64, Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, Power Wash Simulator, Bayonetta 2, Lego Indiana Jones The Original Adventure, Star Wars Bounty Hunter, Katamari Damacy, Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection, Neo, Titanfall 2, Later Alligator, WarioWare Move It, Princess Peach Showtime, Tearaway Unfolded, Assassin's Creed Rogue, Star Wars Shadow of the Empire, SteamWorld Heist, What the Golf? Call of Duty 3, Lego, Star Wars, The Complete Saga, Madagascar, the video game, Assassin's Creed Freedom Cry, Sherlock Holmes, The Devil's Daughter, Sneak King, Chuchil, The Blob 2, Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks, The Order 1886, Yoshi's Story, Halo 3, ODST, The Lord of the Rings, Aragorn's Quest, Octodad Dadley's Catch, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, Kirin, Afro Samurai, Lego City Undercover, Gargoyle's Quest, Guacamelee 2, Star Wars Episode 1, Pod Racer, Syndicate, Super Mario World, Medal of Honor Pacific Assault, Piku Niku, Metal Slug Anthology, Star Wars Episode 1, Battle for Naboo, DreamWorks Shark Tale the video game, Wario Land 3, Battleship the video game, Buzz, Quiz Player, Secret Agent Clank, Cat Quest, Halo Combat Evolved, Puss in Boots for the Wii, We Love Katamari Reroll and Royal Riviere, Pikmin 1, Uncharted Drake's Fortune, Fury, Halo 3, Castle Crashers, Life is Strange, Bayonetta 3, The Quarry, Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, Beyond Two Souls, My Friendly Neighborhood, Little Nightmares 2, Iron Man Sarge's Heroes, Infamous Second Son, Injustice Gods Among Us, Shrek Treasure Hunt, Super Castlevania 4, Ratchet & Clank Up Your Arsenal, Star Wars Starfighter, Call of Duty Black Ops, Vigilante 8, Sin and Punishment, and of course there'll probably be a couple more by the time that the year is over, but that is all the games that I've streamed so far this year and beaten. So just choose from any of those games and you're good to go. Your favorite game from that list. All right, that is it for this video. Having fun nominating games, and I will see you on the 22nd for the voting form. See you then. So long.